Recording. Let's get this. Hey guys,
Hello,
I'm Alexis,
I'm Christina.
and we are. What are we?
Bit of
Pitapat.
bad. That sounded like some sort of like Barney segment or something where he's like encouraging the kids to like join in.
Can you see the yellow bridge, kids? Point at the yellow bridge. I can't find it. Click. There it is.
Good old days. There's so much more frustrating to watch now, like kids shows, because
I
it's so
know.
painfully obvious. But I'm like, I was dumb too once.
Or I would watch Dora, and then she'd be like, "Swipe or no swiping," and he's literally like not doing anything. Like seriously, he's not doing a single thing. And I'm like, okay.
Right? So how was your day today? What have you done this week?
Well, a lot of Christmas shopping. Good God, the amount of gifts I've been buying.
Yeah.
The amount of money that has been going out of my bank account right now
Yeah.
is a lot. Like, I counted it all. And of course, they all have good purposes. Like, I'd buy stuff for my mom, I'd buy stuff for my dad. I had to go and, buy things for people that I really enjoy seeing all the time. Or if I see them this week, I had to buy them a gift because I'm seeing them this week. And it's like, I have to like think about that.
Right.
So it's been just a lot of like thought. A lot of thought. Now I think about it, I need to think about getting something from my dad because that is like a pretty important person in my life that I probably should get a gift for. But I haven't even asked yet. And the Christmas is like 2 weeks from now. So that's a really good it's a good thing to think about.
Yes. Dads are always so hard to buy for. Like, I never know what to get my stepdad because his birthday is December 4th, and then we have Christmas. So, like,
God.
there's got to be a sort of separation so he doesn't feel like, oh, well, I'm not that special. But
oh, yeah, definitely.
everything he wants is like tools. I don't want to buy him a new wrench every year because he works on like cars and does like mechanical stuff. But like, he can buy his own tools. I want to get him something different.
I know exactly what you mean. Because my dad is also a Sagittarius, so his birthday is November 24th.
Oh yeah.
Which usually either falls Thanksgiving or doesn't fall on Thanksgiving at all. So after buying him a gift for his birthday anyway, I have to go buy him a gift for Christmas, and it's like all like back to back, so I don't like remember it easy. But yeah, Sagittarians, they really are different breed of people, aren't they?
Literally.
Capricorns are too. I mean, like it's right after Christmas. Right after Christmas.
Yes. Yes. And my family this year, they want to do like a Secret Santa. So I wasn't even like I was still at school because I just came back today, like for my winter break. I was still at school and like apparently I guess the whole family got together for my stepdad's birthday and they like pulled names for the Secret Santa. So my mom just sent me a text like, "Hey, by the way, buy so and so a gift." And I was like, "Hello?" That wasn't in my plan, but I gotta buy a gift now.
My bank account is empty, Mom.
Yeah. I mean, I get paid for my school job this Friday, so that's all gonna go towards gifts, most likely. Yeah.
On a gift note, today I was completely lucky, just pure luck. Okay, so I go to Bath and Body Works, and my mom's like, we have coupons. Go ahead and take your coupons and go to Bath and Body Works and go buy some stuff for. I mean, we have my godmother is going to give me gifts next week, so I have to like buy her a gift, and I have to go buy a gift for one of. I'm taking care of my friend's cat, so I have to give my friend a gift as well. So she's like, might as well keep her one stone. Just go to Bath and Body Works and bring this coupon, and it's $10 off, right?
Yeah.
Totally forget the coupon. I totally forget it. Okay, I leave it at home, and I'm already driving there. My mom's like, "You forgot the coupon," and I'm like, "Just send to me through the phone, like send a photo of it, right?" And I get there, and the whole store, it is all bath items, all body items are $5.50. Like no matter what price it was before, it's $5.50 now.
That's
So
amazing.
the whole store is $5.50 first of all, and I go buy everything at checkout, and I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be $100 because I'm buying stuff, gifts, and of course I'm gonna buy something for myself. You can't go to a store and buy gifts for other people and not buying something for yourself. Like that is a waste of
Right.
time.
Literally, yeah.
So I go to check out, and she comes up to me and she's like, I can't take this because it's a photo of a coupon. And she's like, because of fraud reasons, people like to bring coupons in, and you shouldn't bring a photo of a coupon. So I calculate everything out, and I'm like, okay, I mean that's totally fine. And lo and behold, when I get my receipt, because everything's $5.50, I only got to pay $70 for what I would have paid $120 for.
That's amazing.
Like that pure luck. That is the fact that I forgot a coupon anyway and I couldn't even use it, but I
Right?
saved $40.
That's crazy. That's so good. That's so good.
I know, right? My mom was like, you still have the coupon? And I was like, yeah, it's still at home. She's like, I'm gonna use it next week to go to like buy something for myself. And I'm like, you do that. You do
Yes.
that.
Treat
Don't forget
yourself
it
with a
this time.
coupon.
But yeah, it was a 2-day only sale. Like I was so lucky that I landed on one of the 2 days that they had the sale for.
Wow. That was like a like destiny type of thing. Like you had to
I
be
know,
there.
right?
You had to be there.
I just thought about it. It's epiphany. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go anyway. And I forgot the coupon, and I was like, oh my god, my life's over because I don't have the coupon now, and I'm paying maybe $100. Like I got paid today, and I was like, I'm gonna use half my paycheck on this, and then I didn't have to. Like I only paid $70 for what I would have paid like $130 for.
That's amazing.
Oh,
I
Christmas. What
love
do you?
Christmas
I
sales.
love Christmas too. Honestly, I love Christmas sales. I love Christmas. Um, yeah, it's that time of year. You either get a lot of money coming in or whatever's coming in is going straight out.
So true. So true.
Yeah. Oh my god. I'm just thinking about like Christmas. Like, do you feel like it's Christmas this year? Do you have the holiday spirit in you?
I have it, but I feel like I have more anxiety about buying gifts than I do have spirit. Like once I get a gift for like every person that I need to get one for, I think I'll feel better. But like right now, I'm just like, oh wait, but what about this? Or like, what if this doesn't mail on time? Like all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Oh yeah. Especially like family gifts are most time they're pretty easy. But when it comes to like gifts of like your cousin that just so happens to be at the family dinner at that one time, like you don't even barely know them and you have to think about a gift for them. That's when it's like, God, what do I give them?
Right, right. Or like for a lot of the people that I want to buy gifts for, they are those people that like as soon as they want something, they buy it for themselves. So I'm like, why? I literally don't know what to get you because everything I come up with, you've already got in your cart. Like, I don't. You shouldn't. My sister and I keep telling our mom because she was buying like gifts online and then decided to buy herself like a pair of shoes. We were like, you can't be buying yourself stuff like right now, right before Christmas, because what if we would have gotten you that exact pair of shoes? Like, you can't just do that. Not now. But she
No,
doesn't
yeah.
anyway, so
Same.
yes, that's my
Yes.
thing. But I'm trying to get a job to work over break. I have an interview on Monday, actually. I think.
Ooh, good luck.
Yes. I think. I think it's supposed to be over the phone. I'm not even sure. If it doesn't work out, I'll just physically show up at the place because they have like you can stop in and interview like on the spot. So I'll just do that instead. But it's a pet food and supplies warehouse where we get Lincoln's food.
Yay!
So like I could get
Honestly,
discounts on Lincoln's food and stuff, and it's like 10 minutes from my house. So
oh yeah, that is perfect. That's a perfect job. I would, if money was no object, I would work at a pet food place. Like
yeah,
I would literally do that. Like if money was no object and I wasn't like aiming to have a career in the future, I'd be like, you know what? Quit this job. I'm gonna be hanging out with pets all day.
right?
That's what my ideal job would be.
Exactly. Hopefully it works out. I just need a little something. My only concern is that like I'm only gonna be home for like a month. So I have to let them know, like, I gotta go. I just need like a seasonal job.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just that's like kind of like the one thing that happened during college that I was like, I really, really need to think about, because during summer or during like winter break, you have to think about the fact that you're like, well, people want to hire you if you want to only be there for 1 month. And I mean, there's a lot of retailers that do, but there were like a lot of people who told me straight up, they were like, you had to save more than like 3 months to be working here. Like it was pretty like intense.
Wow, that's crazy. I think
So I hope you can.
uh, the school or the school, my school, only pays minimum wage right now, which is 7.25. So sad. So I'm not making that much. It's enough to like pay gas or whatever, but it's also bi-weekly pay. So I'm like, wow, $30, thanks. But it's fine.
Really? Your college job only pays you minimum wage?
Yeah, they're trying to
Oh.
raise it as an incentive, and also because we're working hard. I think we would deserve it after some point, but I think for my particular job, because I work in the library and the tutoring center, so like um I don't tutor, I just connect the tutors with the students. So like a student will request for a certain subject, and then I go in the system and find them someone to teach them. And I'm pretty sure every semester that I return, I get a little raise. So I'm hoping next semester I just get a little teensy bit more than
Yeah.
7.25. Yeah,
Because when I was in college, I got paid $9 an hour. And
that's
I
nice.
mean, like, I barely made it. Like, I
Yeah,
barely made it.
yeah. It
So I can
really
just
be like
imagine.
that.
So I can just imagine, like, getting paid that little.
I know. I would have honestly had more, but I underestimated just how much I was gonna have to buy prior to the school year starting, like all the things I needed for my dorm and stuff, and like toiletries and like food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Food.
I underestimated
Food.
just how much I was gonna need. And then like you don't want to be bored and sit and not do anything every weekend, so like you need money
Oh,
if you
yeah.
decide you want to go to like Wendy's or something instead of eating like, I don't know, common dining hall food.
Oh, yeah. And I didn't, and everyone is like, oh, when you're in college, you go out and you go to bars, you hang out with friends all the time. And then when you're in college, you realize that that's really expensive. Going out and eating with your friends and going
Right?
to like the bars and stuff like that, or going to like just with people, or if you go dating, like dating is expensive unless you like really know that person, you live close to them like you do, like most people would.
Yeah, so true. And like me just in general, my like love language towards others is like gift giving. I have to hold back because like if somebody like sees something or they like go out to eat with me, I feel such an inclination to like, no, I got it. Even though I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
I should use that for something else or like for me. Or like maybe I'll see like a snack or something that I think somebody would like, and I'm like, oh, I'll get it for them. And it's like, I didn't have to. It's just I do. That's how I show affection, and I would do it more if I had the means. But like at the same time,
You have no
not,
means.
that's not good. That's not good. Like I was thinking about things to get for my boyfriend for Christmas because I don't have to buy that until later because I won't see him until after Christmas anyway, just because he lives 4 hours away. So we're not like we're working anyway. And I was like, oh, what if I just got him an Apple Watch? That's that's very expensive. Like
An Apple
very.
Watch.
Yes, because he has like a first generation like kind of crappy one. So I was like, man, I didn't buy it, but
Whoa.
I was just thinking, I was like, wow, that'd be kind of nice. But just
It
stuff like
would.
that. He literally asked me for like plushies and like blankets and stuff, like sleep stuff. And then here I am, like, wow, an Apple an Apple Watch might be nice. No, I think like way too out there. My mom was like, "This is exactly why I don't put some stuff on my list because it's too expensive." And I knew you would do it. I was like, "Well, because that's what you wanted." So,
Yeah. The thing is that like that's also my love language too. So I know exactly what you mean with like when you were in college and you got paid eat like barely enough to like be a human being on this earth most of the time. And like if things were being paid for you, it was like, oh my God, things are being paid for me. But I remember like all my friends would go out and they would go on dates and they would like hang out with friends all the time. And I'd be like, damn, I'd love to do that if I had the money to do that. Like my friends would like go traveling, they go on road trips during the summer with their friends. And I'm like, you have the money to do this? Like I don't I don't have the money to do this.
what?
Um it's just like it was just God. Like I just think about how poor I was. And I just like I feel so much sympathy for you right now because you're like, I want to buy all this stuff, people, and you can't. You really can't.
I know. It was easier last year because I was at home doing online school and then working like 4 days a week. But at the same time, mentally, it was hard to like do online school every other day and then work every other day. So like there's got to be some sort of trade, some sort of
True.
balance. Yeah. It's kind of crazy though, because like my roommate, she isn't gonna work at all over break because she has like thousands of dollars saved up. And I'm like, how did you manage to do that? Like, how? I don't know. But she's like completely fine, just not working at all over break, and she can buy whatever she wants whenever.
Damn.
At her big 20,
Honey, how nice is that?
right? To be fair, um, I guess like I spent a lot of money last year on like K-pop stuff, like albums and stuff, but really not to the extent that like she would come back with like $100 jacket. I don't know.
Damn.
She's built different. I mean, good for her. Honestly, that's the kind of life, the kind of income that I should have been at. Maybe I just wasn't smart with my money in high school. That would probably
But
help.
who was? But who was, honestly?
Good point. Good point.
Like I'm barely getting to the point in my life where I can probably save up money as I like have income for. Like I'm at that point in my life where I'm like, if I just saved up, if I were making more money back in college, or if I were like saving up the money that I made in high school, or if like some things happened that didn't spend like over $300 on K-pop albums when I was starting out in college because I like had the money means to do so.
Mhm.
Like I would actually be like a good amount in my bank account right now. And then just like, damn. If I
It
did,
really be like
and
that.
now I'm like barely to the point in my life where I'm like, damn, I'm finally making like saving up stuff for my future.
Literally. I always wonder, like, would I have more if I didn't buy albums? Like, how much more? But like, I'm at that point where if I tried to sell them, I couldn't. I'm like too attached.
Yeah, that was kind of my dilemma. Honestly, me too. Like, I think about how much money in my shelf right now. Honestly, I'm like, ooh, that's like $100 easy. But then I'm like, this is my shiny album that I got the first bit. Like, I don't want to sell this. I don't want to sell this. Um, but yeah, just like I think about how much money that I've spent on K-pop already, and then I'm like, but it was so worth it. Like, don't you kind of feel that too? You're like, damn, I spent so much money on this, but like, I'm happy.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Especially before all that giant wave that was like right now with the K-pop album stopping production and we have to like wait for people to restock or wait for SM to restock.
Yes.
Like that, the fact that we've got albums before that, like all those albums mean everything to us. So like, oh, people can't buy this anymore. Like we
Mhm.
have something people can't buy anymore.
Right. That's a crazy thing. Like there's been a lot of albums because I the last album I bought was Keys back in September. Like there have been so many out that I want to buy, but I just don't because I'm trying to save. But my biggest concern is that by the time that I get to the point where I can buy them, it's just not going to be in stock. That's gonna make me so sad. Like so sad because some of these albums are albums like the ATEEZ ones. Where, like I have in my mind just like Shiny that I want their entire collection, but like I
ATs.
can't. I'm triggered.
Well, hopefully the next year or so, um, this virus finally cool down and then the production will come back up and it will just be like exactly what it was before the pandemic. Because before the pandemic, I think there was a good amount of stock for every single thing. Like I have to say, like Shiny back then, like you could buy pretty much anything you needed if you had the means to do so, and they would restock pretty quickly. And now it's like, damn. Now it's like, damn. Like there are albums of Shiny on eBay that are over $1,000 because there's just
Yeah.
that low of a stock.
That's the crazy thing. Actually, speaking of stuff like that, this is kind of off topic, but kind of not because it's talking about reselling on eBay. So the new Spider-Man movie comes out next Thursday, right? And I've been seeing this crazy trend where people, because they opened pre-orders for tickets like literally last week, like a week and a half ago, because it's so highly anticipated. They're trying to like, I guess, either organize it or whatever. People were buying tickets and reselling for $15,000. A single
No.
movie ticket. I've seen like countless screenshots of that. And who is gonna buy that? Who? Like, are you crazy? You could just wait. You don't have to be there opening night.
I
Just
know,
like,
right?
and like what's even more like dumb is that don't tickets expire like once they stop playing that movie in theaters, like when its run is done? Or am I
Yeah.
crazy? Like, what are you gonna do with an expired ticket that you just spent like your whole life savings on? I don't get it.
Or I don't know, wait for it to finish airing and then wait for it to go on Disney Plus. It's not gonna end the world if you wait for like 2 months. It's not gonna be the end of the world.
Exactly, exactly.
People aren't crazy, honestly. Just like the pure thought of it all. Um, oh yeah. And just like the whole thing about reselling anything,
Mhm.
it's like, I mean, when you think about it, I tried doing this with K-pop albums, back to the, I guess back to kind of like the topic. I would resell. And then of course I would do like $20 because that was how I got it. And then of course people would want to lower it. So I would do 15.
Mhm.
And but that also meant that I had like no profit. I would have no profit from doing it, like at all. And I'd be like, damn, like if I didn't sell this, I wouldn't have the money. But if I also sold it, like I'm like, damn. I wish I had more.
Literally reselling is such a I don't know, it's so complicated because like even on places like on Depop and stuff, there's such a range between like somebody who sells something and they're fair about it. Like, okay, you've had it. It's like slightly used. It might look like it's new, but you don't want to sell it for the exact price. You don't want to be a little stingy about it. And then there's people who are like, oh, I want $500 for this little box. And it's like it's also like it's not really worth and it's not fair either to someone who like really wants it and they can't even get it because it's overpriced.
Yeah. So like what's the good middle part? Like that's, I think that's like the trick. A trick of reselling anything, a trick of playing the game is to realize what's the middle between, oh my god, that's too expensive for me to even think about, or oh my god, I haven't gained no profit from this at all. Like I am literally going to put this in there and it's gonna be coming back to me as if I either lost money or I just got what I paid for.
It's so difficult. Like I'm starting to understand a little more with stuff like that, like why some things are overpriced. Because like people pay for like I guess clothing lines, for example, you pay the workers, you pay like whatever machines you use or companies that you use to print out your designs, and then you get whatever's left for yourself. There's like a distribution between every little payment between multiple people.
Exactly.
I don't like business.
Me neither.
It's so complicated. Why can't I just like magically create a shirt out of my bare hands or something? That'd be so much easier.
Oh yeah. And I like especially felt this when we started the podcast. So I was thinking about ways we could do like marketing or trying to think of ways that I can like kind of promote the podcast in a way.
Mhm.
Thought about animating it. I thought I'd animate like a little portion of it or something, right? And I like started to animate it and I realized how much time consuming it is to do like every single
Oh my
frame.
gosh, yeah.
And I'm like, damn, can you imagine people animating like in general, how people go into just the time, the years that go into one film. Like that is insane to me. So of course, scratched the idea. I was like, damn, I'm not gonna animate this.
Yeah,
I'm one
that's
person who
crazy.
probably like I have a job, I have like a life. I
That's
need
so
to
true.
put
Like
time
this
and
is just
effort.
a little fun side thing. You don't have to like put your whole heart and soul into this crap.
Yeah. I prefer this podcast just be something that we kind of look forward to during the week or, something just give us just kind of chat about our lives at the moment to have someone to talk to about what's
Yeah,
been going on
absolutely.
in our lives.
Yeah.
It's not serious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Crazy, crazy.
It is. Things are crazy right now. I have to.
Yeah, really crazy.
I'm gonna spend all day tomorrow. Well, my sister's going to work in the morning, so I'm gonna spend all day tomorrow cleaning, doing laundry, and like unpacking everything I brought home from school. So I'm gonna steal my mom's Bluetooth speaker and probably just blast that and just go straight to work because I brought like a whole bin of clothes, like all my sweaters and stuff. And then I brought, because you're not allowed to wash like your sheets or anything at school for some reason. I guess they just don't want you to like break the machinery if your sheets or your comforters are too heavy. So I had to strip my whole bed and bring that with me. And then
Damn.
I think I mentioned it before, but I have like a bunch of like penguin plushies that I took with me to school. So I put them all in a giant trash bag and threw them in my trunk. And then I just went home. And I have a box fan as well that I take with me. You remember the toaster incident that we talked about?
Yes.
So, like a couple weeks later, I had my fan on. I had like a little like black fan that I kept on my desk, and it was on pretty often because like um the room like kind of bounces between being hot and cold. And like because I'm constantly walking on campus, I get hot even though it's cold outside. So I come in and like turn the fan on. So I left it on one evening, went like two doors down to my boyfriend's dorm to like talk to him and his roommate for a little bit. I came back and my fan had burned. Like literally it stopped working and the whole room smelled like burnt metal and I was like, what's going on? So I like unplugged it and like it was hot to the touch and it smelled like very burnt. Nothing at all could turn it back on. I tried. So I had to, when I came home for break, for Thanksgiving break, I had to grab my like giant box fan from my room and then set it up. It's super loud, but I always need like white noise to sleep. And now I know, I guess I can't buy that same brand of fan anymore because it didn't last that long, like 2 months maybe. 3 months.
Damn.
Yeah. And it's super quiet, especially in the dorms, because like I can sleep when it's quiet, but when you have neighbors, especially neighbors that like party and stuff, or like my
Mm.
roommate, because we have two separate rooms within our dorm, like I don't want to bother her because I stay up usually much later than she does, so it's just convenient. But yeah, me and
True.
appliances, we just me and electronics, appliances. Apparently, we don't get along. At least not in that dorm. I don't know how it keeps happening. It's so funny to think about, like, but in the moment, it's kind of scary because I'm like not sure how it happened.
Honestly, just knowing how college dorms work or how college works, it's probably that plug. It's probably the plug that you plug it into. It's probably just been like so old
That's such a
that it
good
probably
point.
caused something.
Yeah, our dorm room has been quite the interesting one. Within the first, like, probably 3 weeks, yeah, our AC broke 4 times. So it's been it's been lovely. And then the toaster incident happened and yeah. It's fine though. We haven't had any issues since. I mean, we're not using the AC, we're using like heater or whatever. But just hoping that nothing goes down when I'm not there for a month.
Good God, I hope so. Oh my God. You just kind of like set me back to when I was in college about how the pure mess of living in an area where there's student housing or living with people like who are the same college as you.
Right?
It's just like the mess, the pure mess, the amount of bugs. Like, have you had a bug problem yet? I feel like that's something you're going to experience at some point.
Um, we have it in our particular dorm just because my roommate and I are like super clean, but I bet like other people on our floor have had that issue.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with our floor is like the people are dirty, but not inside their dorm, but like in the hallway. So like the other day, it could have been yesterday, it was sometime this week. Somebody had like an empty like strawberry lemonade from Starbucks, like just the like a big like venti cup with a straw. They just left it on the handle of somebody's door in the hallway. And then that
Damn.
person put it on my roommate and I's door. And then my roommate put it on our neighbor's door because she was like, I don't know whose this is, but like every time we open the door, the whole cup is just gonna fall like all over the ground. And then I guess our neighbor got upset and threw the cup like on the ground. So it was just like sprawled out on the floor, on the carpet floor in the hallway. And then somebody else threw a banana on the ground and smashed it, just left it on the floor. Someone else threw um a muffin and the muffin was wrapped, but then it somehow ended up unwrapped and like in pieces all over. And of course, it had to be like right by our dorm because it's a long hallway. We have like 50 people living on that floor. So I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I myself went out with like paper towels and a trash bag and I picked up everything. And the cleaning lady was there
Damn.
like this morning. And I was like, yeah, it took you long enough. I ended up doing it myself. Yeah, and everybody was like, "Why would you do that? That's so gross." And I was like, "Because it's upsetting. Like I walk every day through this hallway and I just see food on the ground. That's so gross. One day we're gonna have like a rat or something
A
just
rat.
chilling."
A roach problem, honestly. That'd be terrible.
Literally, I would cry. Did I tell you we had a bat in our dorm? Not in our dorm, our
Yes,
building.
you
Yeah,
told me.
yes. Stuff like that. I'm just like, there's so many things that have happened since the last time that I talked to you. Because now I'm remembering a guy got arrested at the library. I can't. um,
Who?
mild trigger warning, but just wait till you hear the story. Trigger
Okay.
warning. It's like kind of not safe for work, but like we'll be okay. I think. I don't have to continue if you don't want me to, though.
Continue, continue.
Okay. So basically, when you walk into the library, it's like a double set of doors, and on the left there's like a seating area because on the right hand side is the cafe, so you can just like pop on over there and then eat or drink or just like chill. So I work in the tutoring center, which is just like a couple steps like past the like service desk, and the guy got arrested in that area, like as soon as you walk in on the left of the library, the guy was sitting there. He's on his laptop. He's writing erotic fan fiction out in the open and giving himself a little
Oh,
right at the entrance of the library. Like this is the only entrance to the library. There's big glass windows, like everybody could see him. And obviously people were uncomfortable because like what are you doing? So they called the cops on him. And then the cops like pop up because the university police are like right across from campus. And they're like, hey, what are you up to? Like, you know why we're here, right? He's like, oh yeah, like I do this all the time. And they're like, what do you mean you do this all the time? So they took my man in,
it's okay.
but they set a court date for him for January and they charged him with like whatever that's called, like a being gross in public, pretty much.
Public decency.
Yeah, yeah. But they still let him come back on campus. Like literally a couple days later, like one of my friends saw him in the library again, not doing anything, but still like chilling there. So like what was the point? They really didn't do anything. They should have suspended him until his court date next month. But uh,
Erotic fan fiction, not surprised. That very surprised
I just
because
honestly I wish they would have elaborated. Like what kind of fan fiction was he writing? I would like to know. I want to know. Like my roommate, it's not nice to joke about stuff like that, but sometimes my roommate and I were like, "What if he was writing like Marvel fan fiction or something, like Spider Man or like Tom
damn.
Holland?" I can't picture like, and like everybody on campus immediately started sleuthing. Like as soon as they like found out about this guy, like because they name dropped him like his full name in the like school newspaper or whatever. And we found like high school like yearbook pictures. We found like random pictures of this guy, and he literally looks. I feel bad for saying it, but he looks like the kind of guy that would do something like that.
Damn.
He
He
just
got the face.
he
Got
fits
the
that
face.
like creeper vibe. I don't know. Honestly, I wonder where he's at right now.
You wonder where he's at right now.
Literally, I just hope I never see him. I was like super grateful that I um really didn't see him at all. I guess I just didn't look, even though I walk past that every single day because I work in the library every single morning. But luckily, I
Luckily.
didn't have to glance. I didn't have to see. I don't know what I would have done, honestly. Like, do I keep walking? Do I call the police? I don't know. Do I tell somebody at the desk? Like, what the heck?
I don't think you would if you saw that, if I saw that in public, even because I'm the thing is that like would I see that in public? I feel like when I go to the library, I'm like in my head. I'm like in my earphones, like on my phone, or listen to music, or on my way
Yeah.
to like go to a class, or if I'm like studying, I have music on, or if I'm focused, I won't notice that kind of stuff. But most people don't notice that kind of stuff. Like to the fact that they noticed it, like we just walked around like, oh my god, what are you doing? Like, what is that dude doing? Oh my gosh. Like
Yeah.
I'd be the last person to find out. I'd be like,
Yep.
that person's doing that. And I'm sorry, I just only went up to like the third floor already.
Literally though. Yeah, I use my like I usually when I'm walking out of the library, I'm like trying to change the like song on my phone. So I definitely could have just missed him because he was doing it like multiple times and he knew what he was doing. He was definitely there at some point when I was. That's the funny thing about our school though is that we have this thing called the online blotter. So every week they put out like a report, they being like the people that work for the school newspaper, like the students that are in charge of the school newspaper. They have like an online report that they put out every week where they have the specific days and sometimes like specific people that have gotten like into trouble with like the police over the week. Or they'll just say like when my toaster thing happened, they had like the date and they said police were called for like a fire incident in building E. And they didn't
Damn.
say they didn't say it was me, but like people who knew what had happened were like, bro, this is you, right? And I was like, yeah. They didn't find anything though, but the police definitely got called. But like we've had little incidents, like they're supposed to report every single like event involving the police that happens on campus, even if like nothing actually went down. So there's been some hilarious stuff. Like this one person, they got the police called on them because they were like slumped over in their car and somebody was like super concerned. And then when the police went, they were taking a nap. Like stupid stuff happens all the time. That poor person. Somebody else, like just recently, the police called because they burnt their popcorn and they set off the fire alarm. Some student's parent called the cops because their child wasn't responding and they had just overslept. Like
Yeah.
all of this stuff gets put on that online newspaper, and it's so entertaining to read because like I feel like connected with these people.
Connected with these people.
Reading about all this stuff, it is so funny.
Oh my gosh. I just find that to
Oh,
be hilarious.
sorry. I just remembered something else. I think it was we have an equestrian center on campus because we have an equestrian club and like you can do or major that's like um therapy but like with animals and stuff or like veterinary stuff. And over Thanksgiving break, the police were called because one of the ponies like got loose. It was running around on campus. It was so funny. It got loose on like the main road. And so they had to call the police to try to catch it and take it all the way back to the equestrian center because it's like all the way across campus. I just thought that was so funny though. The poor
That
pony.
is
He wanted to be
insane.
free.
Honestly, I feel deep in my heart that I am that pony who wants to be free.
Oh my gosh. Yes. That pony was ready to go. It
It's just so insane. Like,
really is.
oh,
I don't realize sometimes like everything that goes on campus because I'm just like between the library, my classroom, and then my dorm usually. But, like all this stuff, things are constantly happening.
damn. Speaking of things that are constantly happening, so like kind of tying this into Shiny. So like, I mean, Minho's birthday was last week,
Right.
and then Jinky's doing like a birthday V live. Is that what he's doing?
He's doing a YouTube live on his birthday. I don't know if it's Korean time. I'm assuming it is.
And there is apparently a Kwangya SM concert that's coming up. I don't know if it has to do anything with Kwangya. But right now it's a pretty big deal. I mean, like everyone changed their profile photos, so I guess this is a SM concert.
Yeah,
Is it for
yeah.
free? Do you know if it's for free?
I don't remember. I think last year it must have been free last year because I remember like watching bits of it myself. Let me see.
I
So,
think it was free last year. I watched it on YouTube and it was like live.
online live concert, live culture humanity. It was broadcast through Facebook, Twitter, VLive, YouTube, TikTok, Beyond Live, and then KNTV. So it must have been free because like if it was on YouTube, then yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think I remember watching it.
Mm-hmm. I'm sad though
I
because
guess
like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
um I guess I was thinking about like the fact that Kai is the only EXO member that's gonna be there.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that I feel like Key's the only one that's gonna be there in terms of Shiny too. He's
Really?
he's the only one that had a comeback. I mean, Shiny could go, but are they gonna perform their songs from Don't Call Me without Taemin?
True, true. The legend.
But also no
I
advice from Taemin. It is what it is.
no loves from the man himself. Um, but it does say on the schedule that it says Onyu Ki and Minho of Shiny.
Does it really?
It
Oh
does. It does. It says it on the video that's got sent out today. It says
man,
Onyu,
I didn't see that.
Minho, and Ki of Shiny, but it only says Kai of EXO. So
Man. Shout out to
damn.
Kai. He's holding the fort down. Although people are suspecting that he's gonna enlist soon, but
I mean,
it's-
if we really be honest here, Kai should have enlisted with Taemin last year,
yeah.
this year.
I feel like all of EXO should have been at least in the military by now.
Yes.
Yeah, Sehun shouldn't stay behind. He should just go. Not that he's not doing anything, but like I don't know. It's getting to
I
that
want to
point.
get it over with. That's the
I
thing for me.
know.
Like, I want to get
Literally
it
though.
over with.
Because then like by the time Sehun goes, then like the oldest in NCT, like Taeyo, he's gonna have to go soon. He's already like 26, 27.
Good God.
He's gonna be the next like cycle. NCT is gonna be really complicated though, because like
Yeah.
a lot of foreigners mixed with natives.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be a really gray area, I think. To be quite honest, I wish EXO left like almost the same time of each other, like maybe even a couple months apart, just so we can get. I think the thing about Kai though is that he wants to get his solo stuff out. So that's kind
Yeah,
of the reason why he didn't leave, because he had a solo stuff to do. And I mean, I understand, but also like, damn. Like if he would have been gone by now, we would have been waiting for him to come back by next year. Like if he left with Taemin, we would have had the same amount of time as Taemin. Like, he'd be
right?
back by then and it wouldn't be the end of the world. Like he just have to solo after. And we would wait for that. I
Absolutely. Absolutely.
if came out in 2023, I would have loved it just the same way. I
Absolutely. I
would
would
have
have
loved
been
it the same
so
amount.
hype. So hype. I don't know. Maybe there's like a specific thought process going on or something that I'm not aware of. They've always got some sort of trick up their sleeve.
True. Oh my God. If Kai would have loved with Taemin, you know what? I said this in 2016. I'll still say it. They should have gone together.
They really
They
should
should
have.
have gone together. I was anticipating like they're gonna go together. Of course, they're gonna go together. They're best friends. They're always gonna do it together, and they didn't do it together. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Like,
It makes sense that way. It is what it is, though. There's not much we can do now.
I know.
If they're about
And
to, oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh, sorry. Um, I was thinking about how in my head I was always like, so Key is going to go with the older members. So during that time, of course, Jonghyun was still alive. So I was like, Key is going to go with Jonghyun, and then Minho is gonna go like a couple months later. So that's how I kind of saw it.
Correct, yeah.
Like I saw Onyu, of course, going first. And
Right.
then I saw it like it just wasn't as I thought it was gonna be a little bit less spaced out than it was. But I'm happy that Taemin's almost done, counting as if like he's not gonna be here until like end of next year. But definitely it was more I wish it was more closer together. I wish Taemin had left when all of his youngs have left. So we would have all been back by now.
Yeah.
I wish EXO would have managed their time a little bit better. And I mean, solos are nice and all, but I mean, it's just CBX should have left together.
Yeah.
There's this whole, like
I don't understand the concept between or behind like having someone stay behind to like hold the fort down, quote unquote. I
Yeah,
guarantee they're not gonna lose the popularity if they just all go at once and all come back at once. If anything, their popularity is gonna raise because every single person is gone and every single person is back. But
exactly.
but they just don't think that way. And then it just makes it like super complicated trying to keep track of everybody and then like you can do solo releases like I don't know, like I don't personally need to see promotions. Like they could release something when they're in the military. I'm still gonna stream. It doesn't matter. They can't promote it until they come back.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's
And that whole
fine.
holding the fort down was so like I realized that Taemin had to leave when everyone else came back. But there's this whole thing about how like Taemin had to carry the entire fandom, had to carry the entire pressure of SM on his back for like a whole year. For like a whole year. He
I
was like he
know.
was the only person that we kind of like looked at and he was doing the most. He was doing the absolute most. He didn't have to do the absolute most. In fact, if he just came out with an album that was just of him breathing, just pure breathing, we would have bought it. Like the fact that he did the absolute most, and not even counting last year, I mean this year, I mean everything leading up to him leaving was so intense for him that like he should have left. He should have gone to the military last year, even when they were still in service, or they've Onyu Jinky had barely come back. Like that's the sweet spot that I felt like he should have gone. Like I would have been fine. I'm not lying. I would have been fine if Shiny did not have a comeback till Taemin came back. Like I would have been okay with that. Even though like it was an I just God. I just wanted everyone to come back by now, Like I don't want to wait a whole year for Taemin to come back now. But also, I'm so glad he's in the military now because the pure weight of
Yeah.
being that holding the fort idol. Like he's probably having time of his life right now. I'm thinking about being on his phone. Like he hasn't even been on his phone. He hasn't posted anything on Instagram since he left. And I think that's so important is that he's having a break right now after the pure chaos. And it's still coming out too. Like the plush that came out last month. Like that boy was working on those before he left. And now
I
they're starting to come
know.
out. Like
It's that like you realize, especially in Taemin's situation, of course, that holding the fort down probably just made it worse in terms of how overwhelmed he became and how much pressure he was under. And I don't like that concept that like one person goes and the other people or the other person that's remaining has to like make sure that they don't lose their reputation. If you're already established as a group, you shouldn't lose reputation. If you lose a little, you can build it back up when you come back. But like, don't do that to somebody. I feel like
exactly.
that's just too much mentally.
Oh yeah. And if if I mean that'd been a perfect situation where if Taemin had left and then Onyu had barely come back, so this was like early last year, I would have been fine with Jinky solo. I would have been fine with a Minho solo. I would have been fine with the Key solo. Like just to I guess in a way give us something that we want. But at the end of the day, just to see them happy and healthy as a Shaul is enough. Like just to see them happy and healthy enough. And I would have been fine with the subunit. Like I would have been so okay with that. I would have been so okay with that. Like
Right?
the fact that they had to put Taemin through the ringer because Shiny had to be returned and back and reunited for the 4 months that were complete chaos this year.
I know. I feel like
Like
they gave
what
us.
the heck happened in January and February? Like I don't even
I
remember
don't even know.
January, February, March. That was a like couple weeks apart from the album and then the repackage. Like I swear, I don't even think I remember a good bit
It
of the
was
early
straight up
part of this year.
madness. There was like no there was no break, and I feel like in a way it was unfair to everybody, like fans and um Shiny included. fans because we got a taste of it and then it got taken. Like now we have to wait all this time. But then Shiny at the
Exactly.
same time because they were anticipating coming back for the fans and like getting back into their job. And then it was just like, actually, Shiny's on hiatus now. So I don't know.
Yeah. Like either way, they didn't get what they wanted anyway. They were like, "Oh, we want someone to hold down the fort." Taemin was doing that for a whole 2 years, pretty much.
Literally.
And if the fort has finally been hold down, I guess, at this point, and we're getting crickets. We're getting crickets. So I think SM is kind of like they're like, oh, we waited and wanted crickets, so now we are okay with crickets. Like, if you're okay with crickets now, why were you okay with crickets when Taemin could have gone with all of his youngs and would have saved you so much more time?
Literally.
Like what?
It's so frustrating and there's nothing we can do about it now. Like everything it already happened as is. Super M complicated everything. I love Super M
Yeah.
so much, but it complicated so much in terms of like
Like unpopular freaking opinion, but Taemin not being a Super M would have still been Super M. Okay, would have still been Super M without Taemin. Okay, you could have gone. It wouldn't have ended the world if you wouldn't have been in there. We could just replace him with another good idol that. Of course, Taemin is Taemin, so he's amazing in a possible way. But without Taemin, Super M, without the idea of Taemin, would have still been Super M.
absolutely. Yeah. You just think about it, like were they just trying to give him something to do? I'm sure he had way too much to do at that time.
Oh yeah.
Besides Super M. And I mean I understand the whole idea behind having like super talented individuals come together for one group to like quote unquote save the industry or whatever, but at the same time I do miss those times. Like Super M was somehow a simpler time. But
It was one of those where like it kind of like what is one of those like, eye of the hurricane kind of moments where there's complete chaos going up towards it. So at that time, of course, as a Jawool, we had everyone going, and then we had the mess of death, and then we had to deal with the fact that he was gone, and then we had to deal with the preparations for Story of Light, and then we had to deal with you start thinking about the fact that he had the drama thing that happened, then he had to leave after all that drama, and we were like, what the hell is going on?
yep.
And then one by one, everyone started leaving except for Taemin. And then Taemin was holding down the fort, and Taemin's like, I want to produce a solo because I don't want to be crickets.
Yeah.
And SM's like, we don't want you to be crickets. So he had to prepare solos, and he had to do whatever dramas they had to do back in those times, and he had to do Super M. So I mean, in a way, it was like, damn, so much stuff was leading up towards it, and then Super M was like kind of like the eye of the storm, where it was like, kind of like weirdly calm. It was like, oh my god, so we got Super M. Like, it's not the end of the world. We have Super M. And then now we're at the point of our lives where we're like, oh my god, Super M was before the pandemic. Super M was, it was, everyone else wasn't back yet, and there wasn't too much chaos, and Shiny didn't have to rush thing they did earlier this year. There were still concerts going on when Super M was around. It was 2019.
They did a little
like,
US tour. I remember that.
They went on a full US tour, exactly. And people went, and my friends went and everything. And it was, in a way, it felt, that's what I mean, the eye of the storm. Like right there before the chaos ensued of the pandemic. Before everyone came back, before Taemin had to leave, before Baekhyun had to leave, before who else is gone? Who else has went to the military since then?
Baekhyun.
Oh, okay, just Baekhyun and Taemin then, right?
From SM, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, from SM.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm just thinking about. I mean, I understand the pacing of SM. I mean, it's just God, like you would have saved so much time if you made tag team like them like Shiny to go at the same time around the same time. Just get it done over with. EXO, you win line, go win line, go. Like go NCT. All right, you good group of go now, and then then everyone comes back. Everyone comes back quickly because everyone goes at the same exact time.
Exactly.
Like I would have had this planned out if I were a company. I would have had this planned out ages ago. Like I would have had this been like, so at this time, 3 members go and 3 members stay. And that's okay. So no one has to worry about carrying the entire weight of the industry on their backs.
Exactly.
Because Taemin had to carry the entire industry on his backs. And he could have not have done that if he just went at the same time everyone else did.
Yes.
I'm going on a rampage, honestly. I'm going on a pure rampage, but I am strongly I have a strong feeling about this.
We defend Taemin with our lives. Honestly though, and this is one thing, like in with regards to the whole Taemin carrying the fort and like everything kind of being rushed with him, one thing that I'll like never get over is the fact that stuff like Criminal, like Never Gonna Dance Again, like Act 1, never got the appreciation deserved because everything was so rushed.
Thank you.
That
Thank
shivers my
you.
timbers.
Thank you.
He needed a Grammy for that one.
Honey, you're stating facts. You are proving the points here. Never Gonna Dance Again. Act 1, Act 2, deluxe package, both, including some extra song in there for some odd reason. That album, beautiful. That book, humongous, and I love it to this day. I look at it almost every single day, I swear to God. And Criminal came out. Criminal, idea, advice. I just like damn, like, and he didn't get any promotion. No one promoted
Nothing
him
at all.
He didn't get Jack Squad. He didn't get Jack Squad. And I am pissed about it. I am still pissed about it. He had to carry the industry on his bare back. His spine was cracking with the stress that was that industry on his back. And he didn't get the appreciation he deserved.
You're so right. You're so right, though.
He should have gone with everyone else. He should have gone with his youngs. He would have been back by now. He would have been back by now.
Literally. My concern is, though, what if he would have gone early and then we never got all the music that we did?
You're saying this as if you wouldn't wait.
I would, but what if, like, because he had no Hyungs around, he made this music?
Honey.
I'm trying to come up with something reasonable.
You're just putting something down on the plate and I'm not gonna eat it. Because we both know that if he came back, he would have still done Criminal. He would have still done Advice. He would have still done Never Gonna Dance Again 1 and 2. But he would have done it with his Hyungs right next to him. Do you see the problem here?
The problem is SM and their timing. Who decides when they enlist? Do they personally decide, or is the company just like, yo, time to go?
The company's not doing a great job about it. Honestly, I would be surprised if NCT had some sort of plan already. If they just went like, oh yeah, so these people are gonna go this time, these people are going this time. Like, no. They're probably like, so we'll think about this plan when we get to it. And I am still upset about Taemin. Like, oh my god.
Man, I'll always defend that man because he is strong in like every sense of the word, honestly. It's
Ugh.
all worth it. All the
And he
mental,
smiles through it.
right?
And he smiles through it. That's what makes me so upset. Is that he
Absolutely.
doesn't crack. He doesn't crack a single thing. And he goes, you know, he does Instagram lives for us, okay? And he goes, damn. He goes, hey guys, I'm just gonna go this dance practice. And this is Korean Standard Time, 2 a.m., okay? And he is letting us know. He's like, I'm gonna go dance practice, guys, bye. And he's like full on smiling, talking about Kwongi, having the time of his life. And then we know for a damn fact he's not gonna go to bed that night.
Right?
Like that's a problem.
It definitely is. He deserves all that rest that he's getting right now, honestly.
Oh my god. And just to tie into that, I mean, if you really want to get technical about it, BTS need that break.
They do. Oh my God, they do. I know we talked about this a little bit, but if there's an example of people who are being overworked and are having too much expected of them, it's those 7 men, honestly.
Those 7 men. And people can say what they want. And this is just our personal opinion.
Hmm.
But BTS shouldn't be exempt of going to the military.
Yes.
Because it is a free experience. It's very freeing to just be home and to just be with people, of course, working on workouts and doing stuff like that. And of course, they're never going to be put into combat because they're idols anyway. I'm just thinking they need to just have that break, because what they've been going through with English promotions and doing crazy stuff and growing fan base by like 10,000 every single day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, like that's intense. Like I'm just thinking about the fact that they need to breathe. They
Right?
haven't had a chance to breathe in years.
It's crazy. The fact that they have to like physically announce like, hey, do not expect anything from us. We are going on vacation says so much.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have to specify like these are the times when I won't be active, so don't expect anything. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
they should just be able to take a break whenever, but I think we talked about this too, but like I don't think some people realize how much they want out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, he didn't post on Instagram today, like I'm sad. Get over it. He's busy or he's taking a
Yes.
nap. Like it doesn't revolve around you or your feelings. If you get too attached to them in an unhealthy way, it's not on them. It really
Oh
is.
yeah. And people just forget that they're human. I feel like that's one of those things that sometimes I have to remind myself. I'm like, I am a young adult
Yeah,
in this world. You know who's also a young adult in this world? Every single idol that I love.
yeah,
You know? Like if I feel like I'm exhausted, they're feeling exhausted 10 times more.
yeah.
And to just be thinking about, so Jungkook, I guess is a really good example, is 1 year older than me. So we're about the same age. And to think that I come back from work, I only work from around 8 to like 6-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm exhausted. I come home and I'm tired. Like I am exhaustedly tired.
Yeah,
And Jungkook is a K-pop idol and he's around the same age as me. And I know there's a whole thing that goes around with the fact that young people like us can hold down, I guess, exercises or have a little bit more energy in the day. But damn, does that boy still have to keep working until around 5 in the morning sometimes?
it's crazy.
Like they don't take breaks. And do you realize how I don't know if you'll realize how bad it is for mental health of a young person to have to be put in that pressure for so long. And when they're not in that pressure, they feel like they're not doing anything. That's when it's the bad part. Like you should be okay with taking breaks. And these kids, these are children. Okay. I don't care what you people say about BTS, but how they're like, oh my God, they're so much older than me and they're all like hot and manly. Okay. Jin is the oldest one. Okay. He's 30. But he's still a kid. Like, these are all kids. These are children. Okay. These young adults that have been put through this, and they don't get breaks. And when they do have breaks, they're like, I want to work more. That's not a good thing. Like, that's not something people should be willing to be put themselves into. Like, that's the point where you need to sit down and think about what you want to do with your life, because they barely even know about themselves. Right. Like, do you think BTS even know anything about themselves outside of K-pop life?
They
I don't think so.
Know that they like art. like RM posts about like his museum visits, but I feel like there's got to be more.
Oh yeah, no. Like, a person needs to have time, quiet time, by the way, like complete silence. Think about who they are as a person. Mm-hmm. And BTS have never had that. Jungkook was training at age 12. Yeah. He debuted at age 14. Like, that kid only knows as much as his 14-year-old self, even probably less than that. And he's been living nonstop since then. Like, oh my God, that's what I mean by like, they need to go in the military service. Like, they're not gonna get hurt. They're gonna be at the band, the very back. Have you ever seen the video of Key about how he's like crazy and he's singing in the back? Like, that's what they're gonna be doing. Okay, they're not gonna be hurt. They're gonna be okay. People need to realize that they just need a break. Exactly. Like, go home. Like, they haven't been in Korea in so long. They haven't been back in Korea in like forever, I feel like.
I think they just flew back. Or at least I saw J-Hope posted a picture of him on a plane, but he could be going anywhere.
Yeah. Oh. They need to be home. Like, oh my God. I feel like that's the one thing I'm thinking about BTS recently, is that these 7 kids have barely figured out what they have they've reached success, but what cost? I mean, they're trying to just figure out who they are as a person, but that's not going to be possible. They can't date. They can't, they have barely any downtime for themselves. If they have downtime at all, it's mostly with their members. And even then, it's like, damn, I'm with you guys all the time. Can I make more friends? Right. Like, do they even, I think some of them do have friends outside, but how long can you keep a friend without, being so busy that you can't even hang out with them? Like, is that really your friend anymore if you're not like talking to them a lot?
I feel like there's a certain point where like absolutely everything about someone, or like too much, and it's like not as interesting anymore.
Yeah. True.
The industry is much more frustrating when you've been a fan long enough to recognize like certain patterns and behaviors.
Oh yeah. Like, I feel like in the years that we've been K-pop fans, I mean, people are all like, oh, K-pop fans we're all like young kids who don't even know much, and we're holding our idols hostage, and we barely know anything about them. Like, no, like when I started being a K-pop fan, I started realizing small things, like very small things. Like, of course, the first year you're like, oh my God, I love my idol, I love them so much. But after you grow with your idol, you start realizing that these are like people. Yeah. These are real life people that get tired. They get exhausted. They have bad days. They have good days. They have days where they really don't want to see people, but they have to anyway. Mm-hmm. They're all in their 20s. They're all barely reaching their 30s. If they even reach their 30s, they want to get married. They really want to get married, but they can't. Or if they have getting married, they want to keep it secret and they don't tell anyone at the very last minute. Or if they're in 20s and already got married, they don't tell anyone either till the very last minute. And that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, secrecy is a problem.
When you can't tell your own fans that you're married and expecting a child.
Dead.
That is something that needs to be addressed.
No thanks. Yeah. I feel bad for cutting you off, but my sister and I were gonna watch a movie, so
All
I
right.
gotta go.
Of course. All right.
I
Bye,
appreciate this
guys.
conversation though.
Of course.
We will resume. We will resume on mistreatment.
Bye,
Bye
guys.
bye. Bye bye.